Good afternoon, people. Dave coming to you live with another version of And Another Thing with Dave. And today we're going to be talking about the legalization of marijuana in the state of Oregon. What do you people think about it? I've heard some pros, I've heard some cons. Some people are worried about if it's going to bring a criminal element into the state growing, and I don't know, I really don't see that because typically legalization leads to less and less organized crime. And I don't know, it seems to be working pretty well for Colorado. We'll see how it works in Washington State. They're kind of lagging. It was legalized at the same time as Colorado, but as far as I know, there are still no retail establishments actually selling marijuana legally in Washington, although it's legal. So maybe it's legal for personal use, consumption, and growth. Um, but in Colorado, as we all know, it's blown up, and it's the new Amsterdam. Um, you know, you can just go there as a tourist, and 18 or up, or is it 21 or up, whatever. Um, you can go to a pot bar, you can go to a pot club, and they were estimating they would make $4 million the first year that it was legal in tax generation. They ended up making 16 million in the first quarter, um, just off the taxes from the sales tax. Now, if we're talking about that kind of money, that type of money flowing into the government provides a resource for all types of treatment programs, which have shown to be way more beneficial than just prohibition and the just say no mentality of the Reagan era. As ironic as that was with Nancy Reagan popping pills all the time at the time. Anyway, I'm just interested in your thoughts on this because I've talked to a couple law enforcement agents about what they think about legalization, and I'd say 90% of them are all for it because it takes the organized crime out of the equation. What was happening in California, and still is on a lesser scale, since medical marijuana has just blown up so much. But what is happening and what was happening on a larger scale was organized crime, specifically the Mexican mafia, growing marijuana in California forest land. Not even on somebody's property, because the property owner risks losing their shirt and their property if they get busted. So these people were super smart in a diabolical sort of way. They would take over forest land and grow in the forest. But we're talking about the Mexican mafia. So when the Sonoma County sheriffs, Sonoma County, California, raided one garden, two people opened up started firing on the sheriffs with automatic weapons. So these people are armed, they're dangerous, they've got nothing to lose, everything to gain, and they're living out in there in the woods growing weed because it's worth so much frickin' money. You legalize it, you take the money out. I mean, these people have so much money and resources. They were talking about giant reservoirs that had been dug out with backhoes that people had flown up to the top of the mountain with a helicopter in the middle of the night. Like, that's nuts. That's James Bond shit. To grow weed because there's so much money in it. So why not take the money out of it, tax the shit out of it, regulate the quality, and try to get a chunk of this 16 million a quarter a physical quarter that Colorado's generating. I mean, that's ridiculous. Here we are in a time of recession, just coming out of a recession. Everybody's crying about create jobs, create jobs, create jobs. Well, hello, here's the green rush knocking at your fucking door. Do you want to talk about jobs? Okay, the only reason that, well, that's for another episode. Anyway, medical marijuana, there it is. Medical marijuana, my ass. Legal marijuana. It's way better for you than alcohol, way better for you than tobacco. It's actually been proven to help with breast cancer, lung cancer, a number of things, not to mention the ointments with skin cancer and tumors and yada, 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 yada. So there we are. And another thing with Dave, signing off. Subscribe, subscribe.